We are in a very cold Shoreditch in London, but it's very exciting to be here today because we're here for the reveal of the latest in the series of DiRT games. DiRT 4 is coming out very soon indeed. We've got a ton of people inside waiting to see the game. We're going to be having a chat with Paul Coleman, the chief game designer, Darren Hayward. We've got Kris Meeke, a world rally driver here. We've got Petter Solberg, the world rallycross champion, twice here as well. But first of all, we're going to have a chat with Christina McGrath, who is looking after the whole of the Codemasters community for DiRT 4 and the social media as well. So let's have a chat with Christina about what we're going to do today. So Christina, we're here in Shoreditch, ready for this launch. There's a big 4 on the wall, which somebody I'm sure will be arrested for later. We're not going to worry about that. So exciting. What's going to happen today?
Yep, so we've been working on a game for a little while now, been keeping it behind closed doors until today. It's something we've been thinking about a lot longer than since we've been working on it, back to DiRT 3 in 2011. And today we are delighted to announce that DiRT 4 has arrived.
So we've got a couple of proper pro drivers in there, as I said, and what else can we expect from the game?
There's so much in the game. It's so exciting to finally get people playing it, getting their hands on, seeing it. There's an innovative new feature called Your Stage, which means that essentially there is an infinite amount of tracks that people can play when they get the game, and in consultation with Kris Meeke and Petter Solberg, the handling has been really taken up a notch. There's so much to explore alongside new disciplines as well.
And how have you managed to keep this a secret? Nobody knows about it. There's been nothing on social media, and suddenly here it is.
Yeah, well, you say there's been nothing on social media. I've actually been dropping some hints for the last few months to the DiRT community. None of them were picked up on, but I will be going back and pointing them out at a later point. It's been really tough keeping it a secret though. When you're working on a project as exciting as this, it's always quite a struggle to be able to hold it all in, especially when you've got people asking questions. But I'm really glad that everyone managed to keep quiet, and lifting the lid on it all at one time today is going to be fantastic.
Well, nothing more to hold in. Let's head inside to the warm and go and see the game.
Cracking.
Cool, after you. So we come inside to the warm, we're surrounded by PlayStations and all sorts of kit with the brand new DiRT 4 game on it. Thanks to our friends at Thrustmaster and Playseat, we've got this amazing full motion rig, and even better than that, Kris Meeke and Petter Solberg. So Kris, how's it going, dude?
Not too bad, but I don't need 2 co-drivers at the moment.
I'll come back in a bit then, mate. Petter, how are you getting on, mate?
I'm very focused.
Okay, so should I go away?
Yes, please. In a nice way, I did now.
I'll leave you to it.
Yes.
So we finally managed to drag Petter away from the game pods downstairs and bring him up here for a chat about all things gaming. You've been doing this for a long time. You were actually involved in the original Colin McRae rally games.
Yeah, I've been driving a lot through the years, you know, and that time I was helping actually Colin, you know, when we did the recce, we were playing at night, and then we wrote down everything we want to improve that time, and of course the technology now has improved massively, so I'm very proud of being a part of this DiRT 4 game. You know, it's been, you know, sort of a dream also, so very, very cool.
And in terms of rally and rallycross, the approach to those two in real life is obviously different. Tell us about how that approach differs, and then I mean that's going to be a useful tip, I hope, for the gamers at home as well.
Yeah, rallycross again, you know, it's actually more feeling into it because you have the cars beside each other, so you get actually the touching and pushing and everything together, you know, so you're sitting with adrenaline when you're doing rallycross. And I think also for the young people who's driving that, they can see and get used to it. So when they grow older and coming and want to do rallycross, they already have some experience. And the rally again, you know, to see the trees coming so fast and keeping and listening to the pace notes and coming in the zone over a long stage for 30Ks, you know, that feeling is it's enormous in my feeling, you know.
In terms of your input into DiRT 4, obviously professional driver playing a game, I guess it's a little bit like giving feedback to your engineers, and then you can feel some of those differences when you play it. I mean, how are you finding it? It's not finished, but it's getting there.
No, of course it's a very similar thing, you know. It's all about getting the precision, get the car progressive, you know. So when you go sideways, it should go sideways and it should grip, you know, all this detail. But I explain it with passion and feeling, you know. I have problem to get it down on paper. Somebody else have to write it down on paper. But the guys are fantastic to work with, and also with Kris Meeke, and you know we work together. Yeah, I think it's fantastic, and it's going to be cool to see what people say, and I'm looking forward to it.
Now, we've had one more driver who's been involved, of course, the legendary Petter Solberg, the legendary Kris Meeke, but the legendary Oliver Solberg's been involved as well now, hasn't he?
Yeah, the story with my son, you know, he's a very passionate guy. He loves rallycross, driving himself, and he have done cross kart now since he was 7 years old. He's 15 now. So he have been inputting, actually not just on the cross kart part in the game, but all the other cars also. And,
fantastic.
But he started with this early last year to send email to the developer, you know, the guys, you have to change the balance a little bit here and there. And so he actually got with the guys a long time before me. So he have been down to Codemasters and testing for a full day. It was the best day of his life. And
brilliant.
yeah, so I think it's great, you know, and he's learning a lot from this also when he's starting rally now. Pace notes, all the details. I think it's great.
So
and also his setup.
Yeah, fantastic,
Yeah.
fantastic learning to him. What I'm keen to know though, how old's Oliver?
15, yeah.
And you've got a bit more experience than him, but who's faster, Petter, on Dirt 4?
There we have a problem. And it's actually something I actually don't want to talk about at
really?
all. But, you know, I've been driving for many years, but every time he beat me with 5/10, 1 second, he gets so cocky, you know. But in real life, you know, he's a little bit more humble, but still fast.
So a bit more practice for you then before we can take Oliver. Now you're going to get some practice this year, of course, talking real motorsport. Big news for you over the winter. VW have come on board with PSRX, and you must be so excited about the 2017 World Rallycross Championship.
Definitely, you know, when you are like a kid, you have a lot of dreams. You know, I'm 42 and I still have a lot of dreams. And now I came with another dream to work with this Volkswagen Polo. And we have a lot of people in the team. Johan Kristoffersen involved. We are a strong team. We will fight for victories. You know, so yeah, I live my dream. You know, every day. That's no doubt.
Going to be a tough season.
Definitely, rallycross is a very hard sport. You know, it's not easy at all. You know, you have like Globe there and Cam Block and Ekström, and you know, a lot of people coming in. So, but we have to be smarter. That's the main thing.
Fantastic. So a bit of testing then with the real car, a bit of practice with Dirt 4 so we can beat Oliver. It should be a good year.
Everything helps.
Cheers, Petter.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Kris Meeke, you've played Dirt 3 before you were involved in the development of that. You played Dirt Rally, now on to Dirt 4. You've been playing it quite a lot today, I've seen. How's it comparing to the real thing for you?
Yeah, it's incredible now, the reality you can bring into these games. You know, I grew up a teenager in the 90s playing Colin McRae Rally, blisters on the thumbs, but you know, when you look back now, those games were quite simplistic, but now the visuals effects you have, the realism you have in the car, it's fascinating, and yeah, I'm proud to have had an input into this game. Yeah, for me, it's just trying to relay my experiences from a rally car and trying to get the car's handling to like the way we feel in a rally car. So I could sit for hours in these games. You switch the lights off. It could be daylight before you stop playing. You know, they're just give you so much of a buzz, and the experience now with the pace notes and everything synced into your driving speed. It's surreal.
How do you give the feedback in terms of the car and the way it feels? And you can genuinely feel a little difference when they make a change for you on the game?
Yeah, it's not too dissimilar than an actual test session for us. On a test session in real life, you're speaking with your engineers, you're trying to dial the car into your driving setup. Here, the technicians at Codemasters are like your engineers, and you're sitting in a simulator room. You're driving and giving your feedback to the guys, and they're sitting with a laptop, changing spring rates, changing diff maps, weight distributions, all to give that car the same feel that I feel in a rally car. So yeah, I really like getting my teeth into it, and for me now with the visual effects you have, it's just like I say, it's getting ever more close to reality.
another great addition to this game, of course, is this fantastic new tool, Your Stage, where you can basically generate a brand new rally stage. And I know when we spoke this morning, you were saying some of your favourite stages are the ones where they've changed the route in the WRC, and Your Stage kind of gives you an opportunity to do that.
Yeah, it's a fascinating new experience. For me, rally is all about taking that step into the unknown, but a committed step.
Yeah.
And trying to be the fastest and committing to those pace notes. And this game now gives an infinite amount of possibilities of stage lengths, distances, more technical, more flowing, and it's endless where you can go with it. But yeah, for me, that's what it's all about: picking a new stage and just completely flat out committed.
Attack it.
Trying to get to the end and set the best time,
Yeah.
you know, and then you can share that with all your mates. So it's the next level, you know. For me, that's where it's all opened up, because in the previous editions you had a certain amount of stages per country. You had 5 or 6 countries. After some time, you sort of got a little bit played out with it. Here, it's endless.
Now, what about you and Petter? I've seen you both down there on the D-box with everything moving around underneath you, full on play seat and everything. Who's been fastest?
You know, myself and Petter aren't competitive guys at all.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm sure.
We're just happy to play it as it is, but I was faster.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, we're hoping you're going to be faster this year as well, of course, in the WRC, Citroen, full campaign for you in the brand new car. I mean, you've got a long season ahead of you. You've only had the one rally, of course, in Monte Carlo. How's it going?
Yeah, we didn't get off to the best of starts in Monte. It was a particularly tricky event this year. It's always a complicated rally. Unfortunately, I fell foul of the conditions. I had no reset button.
Shame.
So, like we have here in Dirt 4. But yeah, for sure we'll be back on the horse. We'll be back strong again in round 2 in Sweden.
Fantastic, Kris. Wish you the very best of luck for the season. Thank you very much indeed. You've heard a little bit about Your Stage. We're going to go and have a chat with the guys now who created it. So we've been hearing about this fantastic new feature all day long, Your Stage. I'm here with Darren Hayward, who is a senior game designer, and Paul Coleman, who is a chief game designer, the chief game designer. In fact, Paul, Your Stage, I know you're really proud of this, and this is an absolutely mega bit of kit. Tell us about it. First of all, what is it?
Yeah, so Your Stage is a way of generating as many different rally stages as you desire. It's the answer to the limited amount of stages that we've been putting in the games up to this point. So this gives us an opportunity to say to players, there's an almost endless amount of variety you can get in the stages.
Well, talk us through the process. So basically into the menus bit before you get into your game. How do we set it up? Is it one stage, several stages? What can we do?
Yes, I'll take you through it right now. So the first thing we do is to choose the location that we want to race at. And then once we've got the location sorted, we can then go in and add a stage. And you can add up to 12 stages in an event. Then once you've gone to add stage, you then get the parameters for the stage. So at this point, you can choose how long you want it to be, how complex you want it to be, and that all speaks to the algorithms that work under the hood. On top of that, you can choose time of day and weather. There's a lot more variety in Dirt 4 than we've ever had before in our games. So this is really just our way of opening up the palette to the player and allowing them to choose as many different angles on what they want, and then they can just generate. And if you're not happy with it, you can hit generate again and again until eventually you get a route that you're happy with.
That's amazing, absolutely fantastic. And we can just do this endlessly, forever?
Yeah, so actually while we were testing this demo, I think Darren generated about 350 stages in a row to make sure that the game was stable enough. But ultimately the number of combinations you can have, well, we got some of our best programmers to try and do the maths for us, and they gave up when they got to about 10 to the power of, I don't know, it's something unbelievable. So, you know, the varieties are almost endless, but we can't call them infinite because I think that is also broken.
Broken maths. There is a man who is much cleverer than me. So we're talking about more zeros than we can possibly understand. Yeah. Darren, obviously you're excited about this as well. What can you tell us in terms of numbers and how this is going to work in things like career mode? And what if I want to challenge Petter and Kris and really have it handed to me?
Yeah, so the stages in career mode, we've used your stage technology to create those stages, but what we've done is we've carefully curated them so that the experience ramps up as you'd expect in a game. It start off easy and then slowly get more complicated, and you'll get longer stages. And it's just given us so much more control over the content in our career mode. And because the stages are fixed, you'll be able to challenge your friends on the leaderboards at the end of the stages. You'll see how you'll match up against Petter Solberg, Kris Meeke and all your other friends. So yeah, it's been such a useful tool for us to get more out of our career mode.
And if I want to set up a whole event and challenge the whole world and really prove how dreadful I am, that's possible basically. So everything's shareable and you can challenge everyone.
You can shame yourself as much as you like on Dirt4.
Shame yourself.
On dirt4game.com, you can favourite your favourite stages in the game, and then you'll be able to upload them to the website and then create your own rally championships using our clubs feature.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, you guys, both of you must just be chuffed to bits with this. This for me is an
really
incredible
exciting.
feature.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Can't wait to get it out there.
Brilliant. Thank you to both of you guys, and hopefully we're going to grab the guys later on and take some questions that I'm sure will be flying in from the community with the announcement of this brilliant game. So we've finally escaped the madness from downstairs. Everybody down trying the game out. We've got Darren and Paul up here. Paul, I think you've done 25 interviews today, but there's going to be 26, so deal with it.
Yep. Well, I mean, this is for our community, right? So we'd do anything for those guys.
It is for the community. So here is the piece of paper with the questions from the community, both Twitter and Facebook. So first question, I'd like to know this as well. How long have you been keeping this a secret?
Probably, I guess as a title, it's got to be about 12 months, maybe a bit longer. We were sort of working on it in the background alongside Dirt Rally. I mean, there's been ideas in this that have come all the way from just after Dirt 3 back in 2011, but we weren't really going to be talking about it back then. So yeah, I think as a project we've been working on this hand in hand with Dirt Rally, so probably about 12 months.
I mean, your
maybe
stage
15.
especially has been in development since just after Dirt 3. So aspects of it have been in development a long time, but it hasn't had the studio's full attention for that long.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Tough, I guess, to keep it a secret. I know I think you've had some test drivers in, haven't you? Who I guess you swore to secrecy via contract and threats, and they came and had a look. But really, I mean, I looked on social media last night. Nothing. Absolute silence. You did brilliantly.
It's not so much our jobs depend on it, but the impact of an event like this really does depend on people keeping it on the down low and then doing the big announce. Because if stuff starts trickling out, then it just devalues the whole impact of that. So yeah, for us it is difficult because we're really excited about the game. And, coming from Dirt Rally where we were able to talk to the fans a lot more openly. But don't forget, at the start of Dirt Rally, we didn't say anything. We just released and announced pretty much within 5 minutes of each other. So we're starting to get in a bit of a habit of keeping people in the dark until we're ready to talk about things.
So talking about Dirt Rally, second question we've got here. Dirt Rally, hardcore sim, hard game, great game, but really hard. So somebody's asked, is Dirt 4 an arcade game or a sim game?
Yes. Well, it's both.
Yeah.
Okay.
So ultimately, we've taken all of the stuff that we've learned from Dirt Rally, built on that simulation engine. That's improved aerodynamics. We've got better simulation of the chassis geometry, the way the suspension's interacting with the road. On top of that, we've got the tyres. Huge improvements in tyres, especially in Rallycross, where we had a quite flawed tyre model, which we've made huge improvements. Cooper tyres help. So all of that stuff has kind of been brought together into a much better package, something that if this was just going to be an iteration on Dirt Rally, you would feel big improvements across the board. But then the big ask for us from our execs was to make sure that we can make a game that captures a much bigger audience, and we didn't want to compromise that brilliant fidelity that we have in our handling model just so that we could go after this new audience. The guys that came with us for Dirt Rally helped us develop it through the feedback that they gave us. So to ostracize them and say, well, we've made that game now, we're going to go off and dumb it all down,
else, yeah.
It's just crazy. So the challenge for us has been to keep that pure simulation, but offer those new players or the players that perhaps didn't have the time or the ability to get to grips with Dirt Rally, that opportunity to guide themselves into the experience. So yeah, that is what is so special about this, and that is why we can call this Dirt 4 and not Dirt Arcade or whatever. This is a truly all-encompassing title that speaks to all types of players, but gives them the opportunity to play the sport that we love.
Darren, I mean, I don't know if I don't have the time or the ability. I suspect it's a bit of both, to be honest. But I tried the game this morning when you guys were there, and I could probably switch it on for half an hour and just play for fun, and switch it off again when you've got that little window when you need to get out and just get some downtime. And it's just a little bit more playable in the easy mode, but still hardcore in the hard mode.
Exactly, yeah. You'll get so much out of the normal handling model just by picking it up and playing it. It won't ask too much of you. But when you're ready to step it up a notch, we've got the Dirt Academy with fully interactive tutorials on how to drive a rally car. So we're going to try and bridge that gap and sort of bring you along in your skill level. So there'll be a good point for you to start, and then there'll be a lot for you to learn when you come into the game.
So talking about the different models that you just have, the different handling models, another question's come in. Do they share the same leaderboards?
No.
You can answer that, you're the leaderboards guy.
So, no, they don't. We'll keep everybody separate. It wouldn't be fair if one handling model was faster than the other and having the leaderboards share the same data, because you'd find that whichever the fastest model was, that's what everyone would have to use to be competitive. So everything across the game is split between the two.
Okay, so another question here. Will Dirt 4 support cross-platform leaderboards? Is he still the leaderboard guy? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're going to have to sit this one out.
It will, yeah, we'll have full cross-platform leaderboards across the entire game. So the global leaderboards in career mode will be cross-platform, and all of the dailies, weeklies and monthlies will be cross-platform as well.
So another question for Darren. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, what did you learn from, what was the most important lesson that you learned from the development of Dirt Rally? I think that's a really good question. Obviously, you went public with Dirt Rally early, and then you developed it in public. This one kind of a bit more secret. So what helped from Dirt?
Listening to the community and acting on their feedback was probably number one. Number two is making sure that you've got a professional racing driver that has the experience of driving these top-end cars to give you the direct feedback that you need to be able to ensure that the simulation has the right feeling. We talked a lot about feeling with Dirt Rally, and a lot of that comes from the fact that you can get all the numbers right in the telemetry and the simulation, but ultimately these guys know what it's like to hustle one of these cars down a stage or out on a rallycross circuit. And so getting that direct feedback from those guys is what has allowed us to dial it in and really bring it to the next level. So again, vitally important. And I think the third thing is that Dirt Rally didn't have enough content. We know that. We know that there wasn't enough tracks in there, and that's what your stage is all about. It's giving that answer to that endless kind of, I want a new challenge every single day. Well, we can give players that now.
Well, my final question then, again from the community, and I reckon you might have just answered it already, but what are you most excited about people seeing? And I'd like to hear this from both of you, really, because obviously you have different roles in developing the game.
So for me, because it's something I've wanted for many, many years, I always had huge frustration when I'd go to our environment art team and tell them how many stages I wanted to have in the game, and basically be told that it was impossible because the resource wasn't available. This answers that. And it's just the start. It's just the start of something truly special. So we did a lot of work with the vehicle simulation in Dirt Rally, and we're iterating on that. But that was our big improvement for Dirt Rally. This is now all about the tracks. How can we make that true rally experience come to life? That sense of having to listen to your co-driver and tackle each bend like you've never seen it before. That's what your stage is all about, and that's why I'm most excited about it.
Talking of co-driver, it's Nicky Grist, of course, back on the notes, isn't it? You've been fired.
Yeah, I've been retired. You know what? It's time to step aside and let the professionals take over. Nicky's fantastic. He's a friend of the series. He worked with us in a lot of detail on all of the Colin McRae games. So to get him back in the studio, show him how we do the co-driver calls now, sit him in the D box and have him rattle around while we're getting the notes recorded, it's been great fun. And of course, if you enjoyed Jen Horsey from Dirt 3, she's going to be co-driving in the American language, but also you can choose her as a member of staff on your team if you want. So fantastic. It's just a really great opportunity to take it to the next level. I think me co-driving in Dirt Rally was kind of like how that project was formed. It was a prototype that then became something else, and I was able to essentially prototype the co-driver model using my own voice and the experience that I had. But yeah, getting Nicky and Jen involved has been, really good. And as a fan of the series, it resonates so much better for me to listen to Nicky co-driving to me rather than myself co-driving to me, which has been a bit weird.
I'm sure. Darren, for you, same question. What are you excited about?
For me, I'm a big multiplayer gamer, so I'm really looking forward to our new ranked PvP mode, which is Pro Tour from Dirt 3, but we've made a lot of improvements to it in that it's much more competitive now, whereas in Dirt 3 you could play it and just slowly grind out your reputation and climb up the levels. In Dirt 4, it's a ladder-based system, so if you do well, you'll move up the ladder, and if you do poorly, you'll move down the ladder, so it's about maintaining a consistent level of performance and not just grinding out results.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, guys. Well done today. Long day, and I'm sure a lot more work. Both look absolutely shattered. So,
I'm looking forward to food. That's my main.
Food, a few beers, and maybe some sleep. I think.
Yeah,
so.
Lots of sleep.
In that order.
Any more questions, obviously, from the Dirt community, get them in, and I'm sure the guys will answer them in a future Dirt show or in a future road book. So I'm sure you're all excited to find out what's going to be in the game. I'm excited too, and you haven't got too much to wait.